It's sink or swim, and we're gonna swim. Hello, welcome back to Peace Storm. I am Pluvius Lelon, and today we're playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And when we last left off, the Chief of Police himself came into the courtroom. And then we cross-examined him, and now we're going to continue our investigation. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. Oh, right, that's the other thing. We found out that the victim somehow died in 2 places at the same time. What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're gonna find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's gonna be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum, was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done these tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of these things? To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press enter to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some bloodstains. Oh, shit. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So this is a bloodstain? It's so... Ugh. Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Have you, like, never bled before, or... Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know this is a bloodstain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this scientifically? The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to have been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find a bloodstain, okay? See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah. This stuff's pretty handy, too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah. Feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Starr? You only trust your own eyes, right? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just... that kind of lead doesn't really get my mouth watering. And, like, neither does day-old fish. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but... No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from the security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes. It was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I drank the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long, they called me the Cough-Up Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Fired? I felt that I'd found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case. The SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... Okay, I guess we gotta present the SL9 paper. What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife, and on that note. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Apparently not. Yeah, it doesn't bring up any new dialogue options or anything. I guess I'll just present everything. I had one of those up until 2 years ago. Back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. I wish I could be so sure. Could you take a look at this? You. Yes? You said you wanted some hot tea, right? Oh, right. I think we all... Yeah, I think we already exhausted that one. Or, yeah, we've already presented that to her before. A body with Edgeworth's knife stuck in it was found in Edgeworth's car. I think he owes me his gratitude. Gratitude? Why, if I hadn't witnessed the crime, Mr. Edgeworth would have been the suspect. I wonder. Still, it's strange. Why didn't our chief prosecutor have her own murder weapon ready? Ah! Oh. She dropped the phone on the pavement. That's when you heard her talking about the muffler, right? Little did I know, it was a trap. The red car's muffler and the prosecutor's red muffler. What was Miss Sky really trying to say, I wonder? What was that first line? It was when I grabbed the chief prosecutor on the shoulder. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room, but even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed toward the chain-link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime? Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The whole of my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a sort. Made-up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be... Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean... Police Department Security Detail Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait. Those lunches you sell... There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends. Just how many does she have, anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, Rookie. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your... are you his... Are you going out? God, no. I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This will be this will be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Okay, wonder where we find him. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here, after all. So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is. Just like a kid at an amusement park. Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. I gotta blow my nose. I didn't feel congested until I started talking. Ugh. There we go. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime. It sure seems that way. Oh. What's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Yipes, these sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I would think just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. There's a security guard uniform hanging there. Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy, a paunchy, a pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information myself for the time being. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. Man. Marshall's allowed the drink on the job, huh? This swinging door makes this place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through there, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say it's more of a yarg myself. Look, on the floor, a lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap? Here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed. You sure have an active imagination. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. This place is charged with frantic energy as always. Please. Huh? Wasn't that? One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. That's a different game, pal. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch, pronto. Standing around is gonna fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation's off to a running start. Still, I do feel better about things, a little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best not to go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. Ah! What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator. I'd say I was perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh, it's him. Hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but, is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins. So you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report. No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't... Is he? You... Officer Meekins, you didn't... Did you? The... Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Sir! Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So, normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir. Because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here. In the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first. Tell us how you hurt your hand. About your hand. Did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But, sir, there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were, huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? And when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as a perpetrator or a victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Yes, well, that's true. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily toward the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey. That's it, sir. That's it. That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment. But, sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct. That card was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing. I better pry into this one a little deeper. Can you tell me what it is that you remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a lost little patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly, he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim whom he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly? No. But the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera? The crime I swore to stamp out. It's there. It's me. It's on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No thanks, I have my own. Well, guess we better go check out the crime scene. Hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives' desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all, hmm? You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers. Lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats, under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call right away, deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Ha ha, righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Gant. Reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Is Edgeworth gonna be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, righto? Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean. They're being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. Then this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. But, you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives' trap shut. He was the one you were picking on earlier? Huh? You saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Ah, sorry, Righto. I'm through with that stuff. Through, I say. Go find that guy who can't seem to sit still out there. The busy one. The guy who can't sit still. Does he mean Detective Gumshoe? Either him or the Dancing Blue Badger. Yep, just present everything. Like, I doubt he's gonna say anything to any of it, but it never hurts to check. Okay, so if he doesn't react to the steak lunch... Okay, yeah. He's got nothing. Okay, let's head outside then. Okay, Gumshoe's not there. Guard station. Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday. I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. Oh, you know it. I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll just have to come back. Yep, time to take another look. Another look at the... Yeah, I'll try it. Yeah, it's walkthrough time. Oh, we gotta talk to the chief of detectives. Oh, sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the chief of police want you to do? Well, see over there? That's Detective Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything... He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case. But I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Yeah, too bad we can't get in there. Unless they're talking about this. Nope. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Hmm? Well, I never thought the day would come when Righto asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Now, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. Just goes to show you never know till you ask. Then here, you can borrow this. Huh, hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. Looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir. It's because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. Shit. Okay, guard station. Boom, baby. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha! The card reader's turned off, see? What's that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, well. What's made my Bambina's sky so gray? Officer Marshall? Why does it have to be him? What's that why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon.
We're here to investigate the crime scene.
Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts.
Yeehaw?
Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres.
I was wondering if we could talk to you.
Sorry, Bambina, but I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed on the wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading a six-shooter, I say a little prayer.
What was that? What was that all about, Mr. Wright?
I think he was just too hungry to talk.
You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either.
Well, in any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation. Pronto. That smell. Reminds me of Texas.
So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas?
What tipped you off, partner? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby?
Yeah, Miss Starr.
What's this?
What? What's wrong?
A filet steak lunch. I see. I see.
I don't see, but I wonder what it means.
Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask anything.
Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right?
You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job and I'm grateful for it.
Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us.
Ah, that poor little doggy. Poor guy.
I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. But since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know?
So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place?
Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed Zippy.
Note, he was riding down the highway on a horse named Zippy.
There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place.
You mean the security camera system?
I don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know?
Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago.
It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire.
You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you?
That was my case. It's all solved in the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it.
What kind of case was it, anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened.
There's some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago.
2 days ago? The day of our case?
That's right. The evidence transfers.
Edgeworth was talking about the transfers too.
I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do.
Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen.
Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand here are these here security cameras.
Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned.
If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours.
And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on these tapes?
I reckon they might be.
You're the security guard and you reckon?
One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card.
Thus the card reader by the door.
The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through.
So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before.
Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that.
Huh?
I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet.
Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Sorry, but could you explain this whole what this whole transferal thing is all about?
We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept there under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see?
So what happens to the evidence after 2 years?
It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February.
I see now.
Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated.
What happened to... And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. See this? This is the victim's ID card.
Ah, the one that's on the ground in the parking lot?
The number on this is 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again.
There it is.
Look, the fourth number. It's a perfect match. What's that damn fourth number?
It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world.
So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room.
But wait, what did Officer Meekins say?
Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card.
So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do?
That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me.
If he had his ID card, then why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record.
I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. But before that, let's take a look at the evidence room. It's quiet. The investigation must be over, here. So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me.
Whoa!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what I heard?
Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, Sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. This man has no dick.
So Chief of Police Gant will loan anyone $50, even me?
Oh, so that's what you were talking about.
Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today.
Just for today? Boss for a day.
But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this.
Oh. For anything else. Damn. I was hoping to find another ladder in here. So, Detective Gumshoe, you're the boss for a day?
That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department.
But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings?
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial.
In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again.
I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal.
You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course. I am a detective, after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal.
Only you can open?
Always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens.
So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right?
They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess-up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case.
That case?
Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth.
Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case.
This place is more high-tech than you think. Every locker's fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my third card since entering the force already.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand.
Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint?
Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own.
Funny, they look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see?
The handles?
On the other side of the handles is a sensor. And if the wrong person touches it,
Bzap! You get a shock.
if that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. I like how he's... Oh.
What's this? Blood? It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here.
I was gonna say, I like how there's a picture of Maggie on the inside of Gumshoe's locker. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off.
Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room?
We should use our testing fluid to check it out. Okay, I forget how to do that. I think maybe we just present the luminol? Allow me to say one thing, speaking as a detective. If I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about, I say nothing. Nothing.
That's fine.
You bet it's fine, pal.
Okay, so that didn't work. What's a saw and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression.
True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here.
Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger. Well, you might say this is my studio.
Here? In the evidence room? Someone left a glove here, but only one.
Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know.
You mean SL9? It does have a tag on it. Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces.
Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case.
The case?
The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of these pieces here?
Another piece of SL9 incidents. Or, another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before... Okay, I accidentally skipped that. You want to try and put it back together?
Ha! Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Okay. Okay, so we're looking for a piece. Looking for a piece that, that.
Yeah, I think this might be it. That's not what I wanted to do. It was right there. There we go. Oh wait, this might be it. There we go. See, I'm a smart. Yeah, didn't even need to touch that one. Okay, just 2 more pieces.
Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing.
Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it.
Were some pieces stolen?
I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar.
I kind of understand how it got broken. This place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams. I'm not so sure about the dreams. It won't open.
Did you really think it would? Hey, pal. Our security is high tech around here.
Look, this one's open. The red indicator light above the door is lit.
The locker's coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker?
Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here.
What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is.
Yeah, that's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. Right, pal. That's that metal detector. The one that led to the solving of that case out on Gourd Lake, remember? Oh, right. Well, that feels like it was ages ago. Yeah, you're telling me. And, I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it'll come in handy solving some case sooner or later. That cheap-looking box? You can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart.
There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case.
Wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was opened recently.
How do you know?
If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot, too.
I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt underneath that trench coat, either. If you're gonna talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal.
Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner.
That looks like a car door.
There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame.
Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away.
Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing.
He's been shot square in the forehead.
Better him than us.
Okay. think that's everything to examine. Okay, so we gotta present the victim's note. Detective Goodman's note and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection? That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there's some loose ends left on that case. Now that was a bloody, violent case. Violent? So was a murder? A serial killing? A serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him.
And this was 2 years ago?
That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight, and started the rumor mill.
Rumors?
About forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transfer the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
So that switchblade knife...
The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? I don't know what the game wants me to do. Okay, so... card record. Move to the evidence room. Present the victim's note. Present the ID card record. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. I heard the rumors. Whoa!
What is it?
That second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room?
Okay, now will it let us spray the handprint? No. Okay, present the ID card record. Examine the fragments on the ground, check it out closer. Examine the glove. Examine the handprint on the locker. Select spray luminol. It doesn't give me that option, though. Yeah, it looks... I'm looking at the walkthrough, and it seems like there's still quite a bit to do here, so... I'm gonna call it for now, but if you enjoyed this video, then no further actions required on your part. I'm gonna figure out what the flippin' fucking hell to do next time.